Facebook under fire yet again this morning. This comes after the New York Times reported that it gave tech companies like Microsoft, Netflix, and Amazon more intrusive access to personal user data than it has said in the past. Facebook says that its partners abide by users' privacy settings. Joining us right now on the Squawk Newsline is one of the authors of that New York Times report, political and investigative reporter Nick Confessore. Nick, thanks for being with us today. Just want to ask you, we're hearing from Facebook that its partners did abide by these rules. What's the distinction? What here is the big issue that you think people need to be aware of?
So here's the problem. Facebook is taking pieces of Facebook, including the data of its users, and embedding it, or was embedding it, in all these other companies and platforms. And they did that both to serve their users and to serve themselves, to make themselves kind of MySpace-proof, right, to be out there everywhere. But here's the distinction about the privacy thing. So Facebook is giving its partners access to data, but not asking the users if they want it to be accessed through these companies. So if I'm on Facebook and I'm friends with you, Becky, if I'm on Facebook and I decide to access a piece of Facebook through Spotify, Spotify can see a bunch of things about my friends, and no one asked my friends. And Facebook says that's okay because I've already shared it with my friends. So too bad. And that's their attitude towards this. You've already given permission if you share things with your friends, and they don't have to ask if they want to then share it with all these other companies that your friends choose to use.
Is Facebook still doing this today? I was under the impression after reading the article that they were doing this as recently as this summer, but they've stopped since.
So were a lot of people, Becky. I think we all thought these partnerships were older, and in fact, a lot of them were still active in this year. And they started to wind them down, or so they say. And it's interesting, right? They've said that we've kind of missed the ball here and these aren't as bad as we're saying, but they also acknowledge that they're winding them down. So you have to ask why. And the reason is that people think they're kind of weird. And the second reason is I think that Facebook has decided that the business imperative for these partnerships is less intense than it was, so they can afford to wind them down.
Why were these partnerships so important? What was Facebook getting out of the deal?
When they started to do these partnerships in 2010, it was still a young company, and they were afraid of being obsolete. They were afraid that they'd be overtaken. And following the experience of other social media companies, they wanted to expand as fast as they could, but also embed themselves into the experience of being on the web. So everywhere that people use the internet in different ways, whether it was Spotify or for searching or for other services, there would be a piece of Facebook there at the same time. And that was their strategy at the time. And it worked. They got big very quickly. They made tons and tons of money. But it also meant that they were saying to their users, look, that walled garden that we promised you, where you come in and put your kids' pictures and everything is safe, it's actually not a walled garden because there are tunnels into it from all over the place.